Welcome back to Canada Tonight. Returning to one of our top stories this hour, it has been a day of cleanup in parts of southwestern Quebec after a tornado swept through a rural community. Take a look.
My house is like paintings were falling on the walls. It hit so hard.
Environment Canada has confirmed at least one tornado touched down near Rigaud, Quebec, close to the Ontario border late yesterday afternoon. Now, no one was hurt, but it did knock out power and damage several homes and buildings. Let's go back to Quebec now. We have reconnected with Daniel and his wife, Julia. Their home and barn house were damaged by yesterday's tornado. Guys, we can see you now. You're inside. Thanks for sticking with us here. Daniel, once again, tell me what happened last evening. Take me through what it was like to live through this.
Well, it was quite an experience. I was having a coffee. I started hearing some wind from the windows. I walked over to the back door that you see behind me and literally started seeing pieces of my deck just going across the back of the door. So I figured out pretty quickly that we needed to get to safety. So I grabbed my dog and ran over here to almost exactly where I am right now and jumped down into the basement. And within 10 seconds of doing that, it was done. The sound, the roar that was happening, it was gone. It was almost clear as day outside. Then I walked outside with my dog, and the devastation out there was unbelievable. The adrenaline kicked in just as I got outside, and it was absolutely nuts.
So we are looking at pictures. We just saw what the twister looked like, incredible. And we're looking at pictures right now of, I believe this is your property, and this is the area as well. Tell me a little bit about the scope of the damage that you are currently dealing with in the community as well.
Well, our home, basically the house itself that we're in right now, lost half its roof. And part of the barn was destroyed. We've got a couple of outhouses, but outbuildings that were also destroyed. They're my garage, a bunch of decks, some pool gazebos, and a bunch of other things that we had built over the years. And everything is in the yards right now. I'm looking at it right now through the window, and it's just all over the place. So it's a massive mess across the street in our backyard.
Oh yeah, to say the least. We're looking at some of this video. It is pretty incredible. Julia, I understand that you weren't home at the time. How did you find out about all of this?
Well, we have a city home, and I was there working, and Dan texted me to say that we were just hit by a tornado, which
wow.
I couldn't believe. I called him. He didn't answer. I said, please call me. He wasn't answering. I was scared, as you can imagine. He did finally call me and FaceTime me as we're doing now, and walked me around the devastation. And my kids and I looked, and emotional is the word. You never think that this would happen to you.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm so glad that both of you are safe, and that there were no injuries as a result of this. But I understand, the farmhouse was in the family for a very long time. This was a 150-year-old farmhouse. What did it mean to you and the family?
Actually, we bought this farmhouse 4 years ago.
Okay.
But it is 150 years old, and we've had, just since this happened, we've had 2 previous residents, like owners, come and visit us, and to them and to us, it's meant a lot. This property is special. It's very nicely located. The trees are phenomenal, which most of them have now been knocked down from the tornado. So it impacted us, but it impacted the community greatly. I have goosebumps just thinking about it, how everyone just came out to say sorry, to help. It was just a beautiful community effort.
Daniel, when you emerged and you saw the destruction around you, what did you think? And had you ever been through a tornado or anything like this in your life?
No, I have to say this is my first tornado.
Yeah.
Hopefully the last, but the incredible devastation, destruction of what was out there, it was absolutely unbelievable to see, and just minutes ago, it was perfect, and all of a sudden, it's gone. It's all gone. Like literally, it's all over the place. Everything that we've worked on for 4 years has been destroyed, and it's all over the place. It was heartbreaking in many ways to see all that.
Is there any indication of how long, this cleanup could possibly take?
Well, the community has really come together to help us out. The insurance company has gotten all the different contractors together very quickly. They've managed to seal the house in such a way that we will be able to stay this evening. Hydro is back on it and getting things together. Like, I'm amazed at how quickly everything has come together to rebuild and get us through the night, basically. So the cleanup starts tomorrow outside, and we're just going to go through the steps with the insurance company and rebuild.
So you plan to stay there?
Oh, indeed. Indeed.
So you said, Daniel, and Julia, I'm interested to hear your perspective on this as well, that you hope it's the last tornado that you go through. We know that, these events are increasing. What's the plan going forward to make sure that you're prepared if anything like this does happen again?
We build better and stronger. Dan, thankfully, is very handy. Already has some ideas. Obviously, we'll have contractors help us. But we don't want this to kick us out of here. We can live with Mother Nature, we think.
Yeah, absolutely. What was it like? Last question here, Daniel. When you and Julia finally reconnected and were able to talk.
It was what's the right word?
Very emotional.
Yeah.
We just hugged, cried. I'm getting emotional now.
Yeah, it was very emotional just walking around and seeing everything that we had built together, and all gone within literally seconds. It was absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Well, I know that it's difficult, but it is good that both of you are safe and uninjured. We thank you so much for sharing your story with us here on Canada Tonight. That is Julia and her husband Daniel, whose property was damaged by yesterday's tornado in Quebec.